Explorers, I'm here for another travel tip video. I got this request from one of my viewers, and the request is for travel tips for your first international trip. So today I'm going to give you 9 different tips you need to consider and keep in mind as you prepare for your first trip out of your home country. So let's get into today's video. And before we do, please do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's free for you to do so. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Now for real, let's get into today's video. Now, obviously, you're going to figure out where you're going to go first. We don't need to tip about that. But the first thing you need to consider right after you plan where you're going to go and you start booking your details, and probably even before you start booking your flight and stuff, is to make sure you check your documents. I'm meaning passport. Do you have one? Usually most countries require you to have a passport to enter that country. And if you do have one, is it valid? Does it get ready to expire soon? Because if you've had it and you've just been sitting on it and haven't used it and it expires in less than 6 months, you may not be able to get in that country. There's rules about that. Also, you need to look to see if that country requires you to have a visa for whatever purpose you're entering that country. And if you have to have a visa, you're going to have to work with the consulate of that country. So if I was going to, I don't know, in prior experiences, I was going to Brazil for work, I had to get a business visa. So I had to go to Chicago and go to the Brazilian consulate in order to get a visa to enter Brazil for work. Okay, there are some services out there where you can send your passport off with the required application and documentation, which is CIVT.com, where they can do that for you, but it will cost more for them to do it because it is a third-party service. But if there isn't a consulate near you, you may want to consider something like that. But the best thing to do is to go to that consulate in your country to get the visa documentation that you need to go. So first tip, check your documents. Now the second thing that you need to do, and it's something you should try to do early on as you're booking your trip, is to buy travel insurance. The earlier you buy your travel insurance, the more options you have to protect you on your trip. Travel insurance, if you are not even thinking about travel insurance after all the crap we've been through over the past few years, I understand, because maybe you just don't travel and you don't know that it exists. But if you are a traveler and you just haven't been out of the country internationally, you should know travel disruptions happen. I hope there's no pandemic or new virus anytime soon, but you can get different travel insurance plans that may protect you against pandemics or protect you against an airline company going out of business. You can cancel for any reason type insurance, medical insurance, and not all of that is covered on credit cards. There are travel credit cards out there that usually protect you over minor things for travel insurance, like baggage insurance, maybe rental car insurance, but you're not going to have all of those things. I have an affiliate link for Travel Insurance Master where I actually purchase my travel insurance from whenever I travel, because I can compare all of the policies and make sure that the policy I purchase covers everything I want it to cover. So definitely look into travel insurance. You can go on Travel Insurance Master, compare the price and compare what's in the plan, and also learn what each item is in the plan before purchasing. Okay, let's move on to number 3. You want to plan ahead and book in advance when you can. Things have really changed since the panorama happened, where, you have to book time slots a lot now to actually go into places. So you may want to, especially if it's a popular attraction, you may want to make sure you book in advance so you can actually get into those places. And even prior to the pandemic, I went to Machu Picchu and they had time slots already then back in 2017. And I had to book it as soon as it became available because those tickets would sell out. So that's something you should prepare for in advance, to look at those popular attractions to make sure you can book what you want to go to. Also, booking in advance can help you budget better for your trip. If you're booking something, a few things every month up to your trip, you can really split out how much money you're spending, and you don't have to spend that much when you get there. And also, again, it guarantees you get to do what you want to do. My next tip number 4, is to give enough time. Give enough time is meant in 2 different ways. One, when you go to buy your flight, or plan your travel arrangements. And if whatever your travel arrangements may be, through bus or through plane or something, make sure if you have a layover, you plan enough time in between the layover, especially going in between international destinations. Because when you arrive in a destination that's outside of your home country, you're going to have to go through customs, which is more advanced security. You're going to have to check your travel documents. There's going to be longer lines. You're going to have to stamp your passport book. And then if you check luggage, then you still have to get that. So you're going to have to take a little bit more time. And then you don't know how that airport's going to be once you get there, because you've never been there before. There may be a language deficiency, if you're going somewhere for the first time and they speak a different language. The airport could be huge. Who knows what it may be. So make sure you have enough time in a layover so you can get from when you get off the plane or whatever it is to the next plane. Also, when it comes to enough time, make sure you plan enough time to get acclimated to that environment, because you're probably going to change time zones. When you change time zones, your body does not change immediately. So you could get to that destination and get extremely exhausted. And when you do that, when you're going to an extremely different time zone, I always try to say work on that time zone so you can adjust a little bit more quickly. So if you arrive at 9 in the morning in France, don't go to sleep because it is 3 a.m. where you're from, like me. That's our time difference here from the US Eastern time zone to France. So I should not go to sleep when I get there. I need to keep going until 8 or 9 p.m. that night so I can be on the time zone in France. So you're going to have to deal with that, and you're going to be really exhausted the first day. And if you can't adjust to the time zone quickly, it is going to be quite a drag of an experience for the first couple of days because you're going to be exhausted. So you really need to plan for it and give you some time to get adjusted to the time zone. Next up is tip number 5. Tip number 5, I want you to research your destination. Research things about the weather, what they do, what are the customs, what is not allowed. Research things like what the security issues are of that destination, which side of the street they drive on. Just learn some of the customs of that destination so you won't look crazy or feel out of place when you get there. Next up is tip number 6, where you want to plan for your money. So when you go to a new destination, your money is not going to work. You can't just take US dollars and expect to use it in France because they use euros. Okay, that's not going to work. There are some countries where people may use the US dollar, but no, it is not going to work everywhere in the world, okay? And if you're coming from a place that's not the US, same thing. You can't just take your Japanese yen or your euros and expect to use it in another country. So you have to plan for your money. One way you can plan for your money is to make sure you notify your banks and credit cards. A lot of credit cards have gotten hip where they see a travel purchase, they know you're getting ready to travel, so you usually don't have to report it. But I know some people are like, you don't have to report to the bank. Yes, you do, because my bank does not acknowledge that. And plus, I don't purchase my travel on my debit card. So they don't know. And that's how I get access to money. So I actually have to go and report that I will be traveling out of the country for certain dates. So they'll know that I'm traveling and do not stop my money. And then if you don't really like dealing with cards, if you're really more of a money person, you will need to probably get cash in advance if you don't want to deal with getting cash in that country. You can order cash from some banks for common destinations like Canada or something like that. You can order it in advance, so you want to make sure you do that with enough time to get it prior to your trip. Or you can just take out money of your local currency from your bank, and then once you get to the airport and wherever your destination is, you can find a money exchange place and take your money and you can get it exchanged at the rate that day. If you don't want to deal with money carrying it there and you would like to get money out once you get there, I recommend going to the ATM machine at the airport. That's what I do. Or you can go and try to find a bank. Sometimes banks are not really that convenient, especially when you want to hit the ground going. So you can get money out of one of the bank ATM machines when you get there. But again, be careful about putting your card in machines. Don't put it in something that looks tampered, and make sure you have your thing covered up so no one can see your PIN code. Next up, you're preparing for your trip and you're getting ready to pack, you're getting ready to go soon, and you need a packing list. I do have a packing list with common things for whatever it may be, stuff in the bathroom, stuff in your closet. I have that linked on my website. It's free, and I'll leave that down below so you can go and download it for yourself. But you need to also include those not so common essential things for you. There may be like medication that you use that I don't use or other people don't use. You need to include that on your checking list, or just anything that will make you feel comfortable or anything of urgency that's for you. You need to include that on your packing list. So get the packing list and include things that are important and urgent to you so you can have that written down before you open your suitcase to pack and you don't forget anything, because you do not want to forget medication. And with that said, do not pack your medication and let it go underneath the plane or checked. You want to carry medication or anything urgent on you at all times. All right, we're at tip number 8. Just 2 more tips left. With tip number 8, this goes along with tip number 7, but I want you to pack for that destination. So when you do your research of that destination, you should find out what the weather is like for that time of year that you're going. So then when you get to your packing process and you start picking out your cute outfits, don't pick an outfit that is made for 80-degree weather and you're going somewhere that is currently 30 degrees because it's their winter. So you want to pack and be prepared for that destination when it comes to your outfits. And lastly, tip number 9, I want you to be safe and use common sense when you travel to your international destination. Obviously, this applies for back at home too, to be safe and use common sense. So if something doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't go that way. Stay back at a hotel, whatever you want to do. Don't do it. Listen to your gut and don't do it. You also will find out the quirks of the destination when you do your research to know what type of security issues they have. So if you're going to a lot of European destinations, especially Paris and Barcelona, they're known for pickpocketing. So you're going to be more aware of your belongings and your surroundings, especially in those heavily populated tour areas like around the Eiffel Tower. You're gonna have your bag in the front. You may have a bag with anti-theft locks. You will pay attention to make sure you're not getting involved in any scams and stuff like that. Or if you're going to the US, the US is known for mass shootings. You may want to pay attention to that and make sure you stay up to date on news, because you never know when one can occur. I live in the US, you never know. You never know when a mass shooting may occur. Just hope you're not involved. So every country has their own quirky things that happens when it comes to security, some things worse than others. So you want to learn about that so you can be prepared and know how to keep yourself safe when you're traveling to that destination so you can enjoy your time. All right, explorers, I really hope you enjoyed this video to help you get prepared for your first international trip. How exciting! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I really hope you enjoy your first trip outside of your home country. So if you have any questions or comments about these tips, leave them down below in the comment box. I will definitely answer them and help you however I can in the comment section. Prepare for your upcoming international trip, your first one. That's so exciting. So make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because it is free for you to do so and helps me provide more and better content to you in the future. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you did enjoy the tips of this video, hit the thanks button to give me a little tip, a tip for helping me run my business, a tip to give me a cup of tea, whatever it may be. And if you would love to check out my travel merchandise store, you can hit that link down below as well, so you can get merchandise to show how you are the exploring queen or king in anyone's life. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are. Bye.